Okay, guys. So a little quick update. I have lost all of my videos. I had to upgrade my cell phone, and I do all of my video editing, everything with YouTube. I do it all through all on my cell phone. So I usually film through the week, and at the end of the week, I'll make a video, put everything together. You know, it's just usually how YouTubers do it. So I'm just going to kind of jump into this real quick. So a couple weeks ago, or last week, I went and bought a can of stripper and sprayed it on my engine bay. I put 2 coats on it. Made 2 coats out of the can. That's how heavy I sprayed the first time and the second time. But it's called Quick Strip. I got it at Lowe's. It works in 15 minutes. It literally, it goes underneath the paint and pulls it up, wrinkles the paint, flakes off. I used a pressure washer, electric pressure washer, to really get into the spots, the crevices, to really help bring the paint off to where I wouldn't be able to get into with sandpaper. You get what I'm saying? So I bought 1 can, 2 coats, sprayed it off, and then I went and bought another can because there were ungodly amount of layers of paint on the engine bay. It's just like every 240 owner wants to paint their engine bay different colors. I mean, it's just how it is. Usually the engine bay will be 5 different colors from the car, which is totally different, 5 different colors. So I went and bought another can of Quick Strip to Lowe's, paid $12, $13 for it, and sprayed it again, let it sit. Stuff works in 15 minutes. So you can put yourself right there at an hour's work of stripping from 2 cans. And it done awesome, done great. We'll let you see that in just a second. But so I had a lot of those videos on there of me working on where I've gotten to now. Still just stripping it down, getting it to bare metal. Going to be able to do a lot more stitch welds so I can see exactly where I need to make those welds happen. So we're going to get that done. But besides that, I've also upgraded my equipment. I was on a GoPro 5 Hero 5. I didn't have a mic or anything. It was just basically just the GoPro itself. Great action camera. Still going to use it. It's just, for a GoPro, you have to have like a couple $100 setup just for a mic adapter, a mic. You got to get a special housing for it. And so I done a little bit of research, and I found a Canon EOS M with a 52 millimeter lens. Bought it off the guy off Facebook Marketplace. I paid $75 for the camera. Went to Best Buy. I bought a Saramonic shotgun mic. That's what you can hear me on now. Hope the audio is awesome. But I paid $60 for it, so $150 for the camera setup, and it's so far it's great. It is the first M edition. It does not have the flip up screen or anything like that, but I don't have any complaints whatsoever. Like I said, I've been videoing on this camera for a couple of weeks now, and I lost everything due to switching over to a new phone. All right, guys, I'm gonna attempt the cam swap on the 2012 F-150. 2012 F-150 Coyote engine. I have a set of intake and exhaust cams that come out of a 2012 Coyote Mustang GT. So usually people just want to switch out the intake cams, but in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and switch everything out together. I'm going to break down the front cover, take the timing cover off. I still need to take the passenger side, the right side valve cover off, and then I'm going to have to pull the crank pulley. So we'll get the water pump, we'll get the intake off, and the coolant housing, the thermostat housing. The Coyote that you could be working with could not be in as good of shape as this one. I'm not saying engine is in the best of shape, but rust wise and all that shit, yeah, this one is actually okay. So I just took a ratchet 19 millimeter socket, and what I did, I just held my palm and then took the sledgehammer and just real quick tap. And then I took a screwdriver and lodged it back here in between the flywheel bolts and come up here and just gave it just one more quick tap and broke free. And then it's mainly just taking these bolts right here, bam, 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 just all the way around. Of course, we're going to be taking the water pump and the water pump housing off. All this is, which is the housing thermostats in here, and then you're just going to follow that around. And then you cannot forget about these bolts up underneath here. I just so happen have already had them out, so when I had inspected the engine, this is just getting the timing cover off to get into the timing chain, and then we'll see what we got as soon as we get there. Now, of course, everyone's situation is a little bit different, so I'm having to grind my crank pulley off a little bit just to be able to fit into the mouth of the pulley itself. So I'm just going to take about maybe a half an inch off of it, see if we can get it to fit in then. But yeah, everybody's situation is different, so if you have the right tools, I mean, you ain't got to worry about this, but that's what we're doing with this right here. See if we can't use the grinder and get a little bit of it off. And so I'm stuck right now because I have to rent a pulley to get this crankshaft slash harmonic balancer off. I have the standard crow's foot, you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. Crow's foot has the 3 bolts that go through to bolt into the pulley itself, and then you take the main bolt and drill it into the crankshaft, and that brings out the pulley. Unfortunately, the Coyote engine does not have that. It's more of a jaw to where you kind of go into it and it locks behind the bars and you bring it out that way. As you can see, there are no hose whatsoever. One should be here, and the other should be there. I mean, I have what you would need to pull the average pulley off, but obviously not this one. So I've contacted the only 2 Advanced Auto Parts here, booked, or they're gone. They've been rented. They don't have them for sale. They do, but they have the ones I already have for sale. And then AutoZone's supposed to be calling me back here in a couple hours. They had a guy that rented it. It's supposed to be bringing it right back. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be bringing it right back within a few hours. So hopefully I can get that. Until then, I can't really touch anything else. So there's no sense of. I mean, I guess I can take some stuff off such as the intake and stuff. I'm about ready to hit this up with some 60 grit. And look, a lot of it came out great. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna get some of this some of these parts. See, it's like this square panel down here. Whoever had it before must have had some rust spots or something. They could have fucked up on welding. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and flatten some of it down. So I managed to get quite a bit. A lot of it is down to bare metal. Like routing through here is really going to be. I'm just going to have to take a Scotch-Brite and just try and get as much as I can. I managed to get a lot more done on that than what I figured. So AutoZone never called me back. I guess so, dude, probably just didn't bring it back, which usually never happens the first time anyway. Something's always messed up to make something harder. But so I'm gonna go ahead and get the valve cover off. I'm gonna go ahead and take the intake off. Try and get most of everything just broken down, just ready to take the cams out and just go ahead and do the switch. I'm also going to sit here and try and get these Mustang cams cleaned up and get those to go as well. Another thing for you guys that always get confused with that, if you don't know which side is the left and right side of an engine, it's always the driver's point of view. So it gained that way because when the mechanic would always ask the person what's wrong with the car, they would have to go to their point of view to figure out, to diagnose, to troubleshoot what's going on. So that's why right side is passenger side, left side is driver's side point of view. So yeah, I'm gonna get most of this buttoned off, get it going, get it ready. What, boy? What? So again, just if you want to mark these bolts, you can. And then you can also mark these bolts. You can have your timing cover blue, and then you can have your water pump black. So okay, so you can see I went ahead and used the blue for coolant for water. So blue, blue. I've even marked back there, as you can see on the engine itself, the water pump, which is obvious. This will more than likely come off as one piece with the water pump housing. I hope, unless there happens to be a bolt back there that I just cannot see. But the rest of everything blue. Besides that, black. There we go. Sorry, guys. Again, I am still new at this. Still figuring out the camera settings, adjustments, everything. That is so sensitive to a camera lens. So just bear with me, please. Yeah, mark your bolts. Much easier for you guys. It helps me. It's not a beginner thing. People do it all the time. It is. It's just you look. You painted the bolt. You painted where it's went. It's not a letter or a piece of paper or a napkin or something that you can get lost or demolished, and you're just up in shit creek. So it's a good idea to do. Paint your bolts.
Whoops.
When you're taking the intake off of the F-150 engine, just so you all know, the bolts do not come out. So there you have you have 4 spacers on top of your intake. That is for your fuel rail. That was easy. That was super easy. Okay, so this puppy will. I'm gonna check out the valves. I mean, on the inside they really don't look bad, so we're gonna see what they look like. Valves do not look bad. Okay, so it's been about 25 minutes and just getting the intake off, got the valve cover off, kind of just like scanning through and looking at things. I've been cleaning the intake ports up, stuffed some paper towels down in there for now. It's a little late. My boy is inside asleep right now, so I didn't want to get the air compressor started. That's something I'm doing tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Okay, guys. So welcome back to the next day. Never got the call from AutoZone, so I called him this morning. The guy never brought the puller back, which I'm glad I never went, and I'm glad he never brought it back, because I was doing some research last night. I got further into it and landed on a link that sent me to a video on YouTube of a guy that was using multiple pullers. Used one that he had rented from AutoZone Advanced. He had mentioned them, and they still didn't even work out for him. So he had actually mentioned the part number and showed the tool that you needed exactly for the Coyote. So thank you for going through all the bullshit and then finding out the part number for me, and then so I can just go and pick it up. That's awesome. Thank you. That's kind of the reason why we make these videos, is just to help all of you all. And it helps us gain knowledge, you know, it helps us explore more into different projects. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys can get the picture. It's the part number is 25901, just in case you need this puller or need to pull the pulley and the harmonic balancer. So let's get this baby open, and then I'm gonna set it up and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've put a bolt into the crankshaft bolt hole. And then I'm going to try and ratchet this against that and try and bring the pulley off. Hopefully it works. Bada bing, bada boom. Hopefully it's almost right there at the top degree center. That way I won't have to do much moving on this. I'm gonna go ahead and get the water pump off, get the thermostat housing off. So pretty much got it down to the timing cover. The water pump was a little bit of a struggle getting off, just because of when they're OEM, just the oxidation that the water creates between the seal between the block and the water pump, and they happen to be both aluminum block and cast aluminum, I believe, on the water pump. So just the oxidation it creates, you know, it's just hard to get off. So again, guys, like I told you last night, I had already marked my bolts that I needed to take out. Now I found a few more that the water pump was hiding, which is going to be these three right here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be able to get those out and be able to take the timing cover off. Again, we're going to keep the place of all the bolts on the timing cover. I'm going to lay the timing cover down with the bolts still in it. That way there's no headache in finding the length of the bolts for the right hose. Damn, those are so tight. Again, we gotta get it in time. We gotta get these marks lined up, and then we gotta take the left side off. Of course, you can see because of the chain is the first one. Chain is the first one. Second, I am going to upgrade the oil pump, which is right back here. Going to upgrade the oil pump gears, and then I have to get the front sump, oil front sump, and then the oil pan. So those are the next buys. I've got it this far. Yes, I had the cams right here. I am going to, honestly, I'm going to just wait just a little bit longer. That way I don't have the timing of the engine broke down and laying around the garage, because I do have my little boy coming out here a lot. So I will leave it like this until I can get my oil pump and my oil pump gears. Will be very soon. I am going to get also a sprocket too. So those three things and five things: sprocket, oil pump gears, oil pump, front sump oil pan. So those are the 5. I have the cams right there. So it's just a matter of time, guys. We've gotten this far, so I believe we'll be perfectly fine. Again, I'm just going to cover it up and let it sit right here. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Sorry some things are slow. Being in the whole YouTube game, it took more time of getting my gear together, understanding how to transfer over files, videos, cutting them, trimming them, doing all of this other stuff I've never done before. So I hope you guys are liking the content. I've got the car down to mostly bare metal. I'm going to be doing my stitch welds. So that's going to be in the next video of just me doing the stitch welds and probably getting ready for primer. I am going to be cutting the front of this off. I still haven't went out and bought steel. I was supposed to go out and get some, but been a little busy. So here's where we're at. We got the front cut timing cover off. We got the fuel rail. We got the water pump housing, and we have the intake off and valve covers. So just going to cover it up, and we'll see you back.